I think, the Labour government have had a number of missteps, and I think, U-turns or things, there's been probably some stupid self-inflicted scandals or mistakes that probably haven't helped. And also you've got a narrative, you've got a media narrative, both kind of print media, GB News, particularly social media, that is continually driving down the country, that's continually driving down Labour, that's talking up division, talking up violence, crime. And, one of the interesting things we're doing at the moment, we're doing a piece of work that's looking at the difference between perception and reality. So the vast majority of people in Britain think their own community is positive and friendly, and yet they think the country is falling apart and everyone's committing crime and everyone's stabbing each other and all the rest of it. And I think, whether it's on immigration, whether it's on crime, whether it's on community happiness. There is such a disconnect from people's daily experiences to what they think is happening around the country. And I think, we can moan about that, but that's the challenge I think that we all have to face. So, look, I think being in government's difficult. Being in government after 15 years of austerity is particularly difficult. But I think that Labour really need to kind of think about what change means for people. And I think sometimes there's big policies or big, growth thing, but what does that actually mean for people? And I think sometimes we forget that, it is about the cost of, groceries in the shopping trolley. What I mean? It's that sort of basic stuff that I don't think that sometimes we've tried to have these kind of big five pledges or five promises, and sometimes it's the small things that actually make a real difference to people's lives.